You won't know who I am from what you perceive. But if you listen when we speak, then you will receive a glimpse of who I am. And then you'll believe and have a life of peace, because your soul is at ease. You see, our source is the essence of which this world is conceived, which means that we were here before the bird and the bee. Now if you have not guessed, I am eternity. But now if you have guessed, and you guessed correctly, that simply means we share the same destiny to realize we are the God and Trinity that is talked about in Christianity. Now some will say that vanity, or go as far as insanity. It's because they believe in Western theology. But as for we, you see, we choose ancient Kemetic philosophy. Not to say that's the only path to immortality. That's the path for we, this life, you see, as we devote our life to helping others be free, so they in turn can reach their full divinity. And this is done because of the he in I and the I in he. Peace and wholeness.
All right. Yeah, greetings and heavenly salutations to one and all. Here we are once again. Another soulful discussion on this Soulful Sunday, as we're constantly evolving, expanding, moving, growing, shaking, baking. So it is with all things, including these Soulful Sundays, the discussion part. And this is prefaced by saying the discussion part, being as though now there's another component that has been added, which is Blissful. One moment, there's an incoming call. We already know what this is about. Let's see. Yes, precious mother love. Yo. All right. So what's happening now is that my person has lost his cell phone. Lost, misplaced. We have parted ways, and in the process of parting ways, we're left with the Google Voice number. And moving forward, we'll be using the Google Voice because it's a phone number, it's a number. The only maybe one of the disadvantages in this fast-paced cell phone age is the ability to have a mobile device. It operates more so as a landline. But of course, we're here with the computer on, so it rings. But most of the time, the computer isn't on. So therefore, the Google Voice number isn't operable because it's only worked through the computer, as my person has chosen to forego the cell phone. Yeah, it's part of the initiation, the ascension process, and so as being less distracted and the ability to go further in with oneself. So, and what is happening now, more specifically, is that the uh, uh, the taskbar at the bottom is not allowing the text message to go through the Google Voice, because the Google Voice is on the computer screen, and at the bottom is when you enter the text message. However, the taskbar is not auto hiding; it should auto hide. Oh, we know what we can do. You know what? And we were just discussing that now in the thing. Hold on, let's see if we can do it. We should be able to do it now. We hadn't. Let's see. So now with the text. Okay. So who we send the text to? Let's see, 202 60. Oh, here go a message. Look, you got no. Look it's in the online in the text in the comments. You see it on the comments. All right. All right. And we should go back. It's in the if you yeah if you no look on the broadcast itself. Yeah, on the broadcast. It should be in the comments. We're gonna put it on it should be in the comment section on the broadcast. Let's see. Okay, yeah. Yeah, hold on. It sounds like something's calling us on here too. Quit. Hold on. Hold on a second. Okay, see you soon. Okay. Yes, I quit. I quit. I quit. I quit.
Hey.
Hey.
Hello. Greetings.
And heavenly salutations.
Okay. I know you're getting ready to go to your class or whatever.
We're already on class.
But I can't go to read this thing because
we on class already. We're live. What's happening? We thought you was calling for the link or something.
No, I was wondering, did you get your
Get what?
Did you get your cash app picture?
Nope, not at all. So yeah. All right. So thought you was calling for the link to get online. If so, it is actually. If you look at this, never mind. Okay.
It's the same thing, isn't it?
Nah, it's not the same thing. It changes. It changes. So, right. It's
Start streaming always the same thing.
nah. Every time.
Oh, yeah,
If you go to my person's Facebook page, you will see the link in the comment section because it's too much because we already live now. So yeah. All right.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. All right.
Later. All right. This thing here is something else. Now we gotta go to invite to see if this thing will copy. Paste this. Okay. So as we were sharing, because there's no actual cell phone, no separate device. Everything is in the computer now. So it is allowing for one to be more attentive, focused, diligent, things like that, as well as less distracted. So at any rate, here we are. And again, the Soulful Sundays, we're speaking about the addition, the additional flow. What's happening is from we will officially end around 12:30. That way, there's time to wind down, socialize, light snack before 1 p.m. At 1 p.m., there will be the sound bath by Blissful Sounds, and that will be from 1 to 3. And what we're doing is, whatever the discussion is, the topic is, today is the main topic would be, the main topic that's tied in with the sound bath would be loving your neighbor as yourself. What does that look like? Loving your neighbor as yourself. Um, and so, which goes back to unconditional love, which is what we spoke about last Sunday. And so this Sunday, after the discussion of unconditional love, for those that are present, or if you just want to show up at 1 p.m. At Temple Mother Earth at the Annex, which is 2423 32nd Street. There will be a sound bath there at 1 p.m. All right, so that's the flow, and with that, that's the welcome to Soulful Sundays, where the discussion floor is open. We have one main topic that we'll at least bring up, and the floor is open as we open the portal. Let's see. Before we officially, we did send the thing to Precious Mother Love. And showing up, supporting, adding her itness to the I am it experience. Persons feel is only appropriate to call up here and reach out and say, hey, did you get the link that was just now sent to the text?
After testing, I'm trying to come on, have a strong enough signal yet.
Okay, cool. Just checking on you. All right. See you soon.
Yes, I did get it. I'm trying to get it in there.
Okay. All right. So she got it. She's getting in now. And there we go. As we simply relax into the now, the ever eternal present. Being ever eternal present. Gateway. Nirvana. And there she is. As we speak.
One love. I share.
The gateway, we say the portal is open gateway, you popped up there. That's
Okay.
it. Precious Mother Love is an example of gateway, being gateway. That's what the universe is. And in this gateway, all is fair. Yes. All your thoughts are prayers. Everything that comes in is your meditation, your answers to your prayers in all dimensions. And whatever you think about, that's your libations in all dimensions. Let the discussion begin.
One love and wellness. I share top of the world.
Indeed. Yeah, just to have shared with the video viewers, the online viewers, the discrepancy there. There's a taskbar, the taskbar at the bottom of the computer that shows you all, the things that the apps, whatever at the bottom. it has been on auto hide, and now the auto hide is not working. So when was going to send the text out for the link, was not able to because you got to enter the text at the bottom of the on the computer, but it was hidden by the taskbar. And then just
I
before
can't
the
hear
text
anything. I
came out,
think it's
Spirit,
the signal's gonna be too messed up today. It might be. I'm not sure. It's acting up.
is anything coming out? Hold on, is there any sound coming out? Any sound? Some sound is coming out. Any sound? Any sound? Oh, and she's frozen. Frozen in time. Maybe this was all symbolic. Maybe it's all symbolic. The challenge with putting the. Okay, so now we got the. Okay, now let's go back and says send a message to a few people. We at least got to do Tony. Let's do Tony. Tell him Mother Earth. And oh, we gotta go to the text message. Okay, we got Tony down here. All right. Then we'll just put studio link. And we'll go with mock this just in case. And we'll put the studio link. Yeah, this is something, operating without a cell phone. Yet, you still get things done. It's different.
Rising.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
How's
sir. Yes,
everything?
sir.
How's it going?
Everything is wonderful.
That's good. That's
Was
good.
still looking to navigate this cell phone thing on the computer. That's why the link was late going out on the text message.
Okay. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I know it's been a. I know it's been a lot going on because the losing the phone and all of that stuff. So it's. I know that could be a whole adjustment. So that's why I was. Just however make it happen.
Yeah. I mean, it's a life changing adjustment because actually did a reading behind behind getting another phone actually, and Spirit basically said the choice is yours. So we consciously chose not to get another cell phone and only use the phone, the Google Voice on the computer. So now it's more as a landline, generally speaking. And because this is preparing for the mountains in Jamaica, on two fronts. One being less distracted here, to just being able to tune in more intuitively, to the timing of things and where to go and just, because you don't have your cell phone when you're out there, so you got to be in tune and listening. And then, of course,
Exactly.
with and in the mountains of Jamaica, we're not looking to build it like that anyway, because the signal may or may not be there, but just we want to we practice being one with nature. So we made the intentional choice, conscious saying, stick with the Google Voice number. So give thanks, Tony.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. It's like
Yeah,
yeah, that's being really in
yeah,
tune and running in. It's funny because you run into different people and you find yourself around different people being off the phone. And that's fun.
right,
That's been happening to
right,
me. Like you run into people, what seems random, but it's not. It's like there's something. There's a force behind that. And all
right, right, yeah,
distractions are silenced. Then it's like it's like, oh snap! Like now you can hear some different shit. Like it's good stuff. It's really
Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a beautiful story because it happened after the healing of the world at the Washington Monument, you know. And what was revealed, the way it came was, of course, since you if you that in tune, another way to do that type of healing, then you're ready for the next level, which implies you had the aluminum foil around it to protect yourself. Now just get rid of the motherfucker altogether. Because now you got to build upon what at the Washington Monument. You see, that was so. Can't go back to where you was. You got to build on that, and to build on that, you got to do some shit that's totally different than how you've been operating. And this is one of them.
yeah.
You know, so that's why we say, Tony, you be fucking the nigga up. You be coming with the. You say, let's just hang out for a little bit, whether it be behind the mountains or here, hanging out with Tony. You know, Tony holds that portal for you to get what you need, how you need it. You know, so you just gotta be open and ready. And if you're ready for it, you embrace it. Say, give thanks, Tony, for doing what you do. You know.
Man, I appreciate you for being there and just seeing the stuff, because it's one thing, when you're doing certain things and it's like, and you're trying to share it with somebody and tell them like, yo, look, man, like you could do this shit, like this is right here, go outside, it's right there, and they be like, oh, you crazy, this shit don't mean. I'm like, nah, like this shit is real. So I appreciate you and thank you for just acknowledging that and putting that out there, because I don't. And it's funny because I don't even be. You saw how we roll. We just walked and sat down. Like it's not even a. There's nothing special. It's just like what? Like
Yeah, man. That's how simple this is. That's how simple it is. Yeah.
Let me tell you about a story I heard yesterday that I could not believe. The gentleman said that he went to the store, was buying a watermelon, and it was $20. And I said to him, I said, well, why you just plant the seeds? He said the lady next to him was saying, well, he was talking to her about he was going to plant the seeds, and she said, can you plant watermelons? He said, yeah, it comes from the seed. She said, really? I'm like, she's from DC. Like that's the thought. Like you think everybody knows that you just plant a seed for things to grow, and that just blew my mind. Like so elementary that you would never think that somebody was at that basic of a level. But you got to meet them where they are. Meet them
yeah,
where they are.
Yeah.
She had no idea watermelons came from the seeds. She said, "You mean the seeds that be in your mouth?"
yeah, the ones you spit out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That you be trying to make
Huh?
a game out of that, but you don't even know that that's where the daggone watermelon come from.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sometimes you swallow them up.
Do they grow inside of you?
Ooh. Yeah. Depends on how you insert it. No?
In fertile grounds. Well,
Right. Oh, that's funny.
only if you're in the ground. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust.
That's funny.
So how was your
Yeah.
420 day? Did you guys enjoy some 420 with your neighbors? Look, love that neighbor.
Right.
How
Very
about that?
lovely
420 day.
neighbors. That's the self. It was 420 was great. It was my
You know
420
what?
person. I spent it playing bowls and smoking weed.
Say it again. It play,
Oh, sorry.
both y'all.
That's up. We talking.
I guess he was waiting for you to
Nah, go
finish. So
ahead.
you go first.
Oh, yeah. Oh no, mine was good. I was at what was it Malcolm X Park? Malcolm X Park. We was just playing bowls for everybody that was there. Smoking, chilling.
Wow.
Very very, it was very good. It was very good. It was I got a glimpse into just, being in a sound bath and so forth, and how that heart energy, how it, really hits, and how it, you can breathe into it, and, like being able to tap into it without playing, because somebody else was playing. So I was like, oh, snap, like that is, whoo. It's good to feel that without creating that sound.
You could just let go and let God, let
Right,
the
right.
vibe.
Just let the vibes roll. I was like, oh, wow. This is nice.
Wow. We are crystals though. We are resonating that vibe, whatever. We're the bowls too. So
Yeah,
you were the
yeah.
bowl.
That's right.
I am the bowl. I'm the bowl. You bowl.
That's right.
These bowls. It's like these
That's right.
Hey,
bowls.
I did a little research on some things that I want to share about. One is kind of like in reference to shit, but not necessarily shit. But you know how I said that the body has crystals, and what I read was that sometimes when people are cremated, they find little crystals at the bottom of the ash, and they say the green crystals, which are look to me like turquoise. They say the green turquoise. I mean, the green is Cancer. And then they have other, like the brain has magnetite in it. The ears have is it carbonate? The ears have the earwax has ear crystals or something like that. I think it's called earwax. It crystallizes. I have it written down. But anyway, yeah, we have those secret secretions from us all have crystals in it once they are either dried or what do you call it?
It
Once they age.
crystallizes.
Yeah, all the crystals that are in the body are found in the cremation. Some of them make it through. And so it got me to well, let me tell you how it started. It started because I was posting something and I had stars and I was looking at music and I pulled up some of Forbidden Knowledge music, and Donnie Arcade did a song called The Real Reason for Star Wars. And it said something about mining, that asteroids were really mining for diamond. I mean, the rockets were really mining for asteroids that have diamonds in them. So then I researched the diamonds. I mean, the asteroids, and apparently, I mean, the photos that they showed of the crystals that are in the asteroids are so beautiful. So that's actually what led me to like, okay, well, if there are crystals in asteroids and we're stardust and we're made of the dust that the stars has, do we have crystals? So that's when I found the green crystals come from Cancer, and other crystals in our body. Some of them are at the residue of cremation, which made me think, even though it's the cheapest way to sometimes, you know, exit as far as a cremation, having a service and burial, which that creates crystals too. Um, Apparently, to me, they could be mining for crystals in our cremations. It could be a lucrative industry that we don't know about on the backside
Well,
of it, because they make crystals out of the cremation for people. They even make cremation diamonds out of the carbons that they find from our ashes. Isn't that
yeah.
crazy? It takes like
So,
500.
yeah.
That's not crazy. That's genius.
So they create diamonds out of
Both
the
of them.
carbon that is of our
Right.
cremated remains. Our cremains has crystals in it. So I thought that was like very valuable. Like
But
we don't even know it,
for
how
those who are
valuable that
cremated,
is. Say it again.
well, for those who are cremated, for those who
For
are
those,
cremated, not everyone is
or do the
cremated.
instant, or maybe, The ones who are not cremated
And
in the ground,
not
they
everyone,
also form crystals. That
and
limestone
right,
that comes out of the
and the ones
cemeteries.
who and the ones who choose to nah, and for those individuals that choose to separate from their physical body at the time of so-called death. When it's time to leave Earth, some people choose to separate from their physical body. And so when they separate, the physical body is left behind, then, ashes to ashes, as we come from the earth has crystals, so it makes sense. But then some of us choose to actually take the physical body so there's nothing remaining for them to take.
To
But we
mine
actually
from.
are the crystals, so then we do. So just right. And that's some good information. And what my person is being reminded of, the crystals that they say are in the pineal gland, so that when you actually do the Kegel exercise, you get yourself in position, breathe, relax enough, your back in line and straight, so you actually shooting the energy. The energy goes up and it hits the pineal gland and it dings, because when they say when you put the pressure on the crystal, it emits energy, piezoelectricity. So by squeezing the sphincter, the Kegel exercises, we can become so astute at that we're actually hitting that pineal gland, squeezing it, that energy presses a little bit to allow the piezoelectricity to happen. So our pineal gland, instead of being calcified, it is crystallized even more so, and able to send and receive messages and do what all crystals do, because they say pineal gland has crystals in it, and you can activate it through the squeezing through the Kegel exercises.
The the brain itself has magnetite in it. That's what I found. I found
Child,
that it has
You
magnetite. The
got
ear
all the
has
yeah,
types. You
calcium
got you
carbonate
got
comes
all
from
of
the
that.
ear,
You are
and limestone is
you have
what the ear was.
every piece of crystal that yeah, every piece of crystal that's out there, even ones that you don't know about yet. There's
We
all
we
kinds of them. You're all of them.
we
That's a
actually
combination.
there's crystals in our urine as well.
Yeah, that's all you ever see. You ever that's what we talked about last week with the like if you go into an old house and somebody peed, and then and then in the toilet you can see it kind of like a
Crystallizing.
membrane type crystallization, like that process, because it's so old and it's just been sitting there or dried out, as like you said earlier. That
Yep.
was interesting.
we are the earth. We
But
are
If
Temple Mother Earth.
you ever have
yeah,
been by
that's
an
We
like
are
elevated,
Temple Mother
if you ever been by
Earth.
we are the temple, yes, Mother Earth. But if you've ever ridden by a cemetery that has this elevated and has like cement walls around it where they're buried, uh, you'll see seeping out of the cement is usually some crystallized limestone and different other crystals on the walls. There's a cemetery nearby me where I ride by and I can see growing out of the cracks of the cements some crystals. So when you're buried, you crystallize as well, even further in the ground. But yeah, so yeah, 200 grams. I'm sorry, 500 grams of the carbon from the cremation will create a 1 carat diamond. Anyway,
say what? Wait, say that again.
500 grams of the carbonate from the cremation creates a 1 crystal diamond.
One crystal diamond.
I mean, a 1 carat diamond. I said crystal. 1 carat diamond is created from 500 grams of the carbonate cremains. They call it cremains.
Oh,
The cremation remains. Yeah, so that's like an industry that I never thought about before until today when I started. Well, it started from the song that I heard where Donnie Arcade was talking about in his song that they mine diamonds from asteroids. And I'm like, if we're stardust, You know what I'm saying? That's what made me think about, well, what crystals are in us? And I know they always talk about the crystals are in us, but I was wondering, could diamonds be created from the crystals in us? And so that's a yes. Maybe not, we're not a walking diamond, but once
Well,
we born within.
You are a That's what I'm saying. That's what we're saying. The same
why
thing.
not? Why
Right.
not?
You are all of that. That's the diamond business. You see what I'm saying? That's the
Doesn't
diamond
diamonds come from
business.
coal and cold carbon?
Yep, yep.
Doesn't diamonds come from
Carbonate.
carbon?
And
Yeah,
that's
yeah, you're
you.
right, you're right.
Now, who would you like? Who
You
would the
are it,
cover
baby.
up
You
be
are it.
for the diamond business? Because
Say that again.
if you just saying that carbon comes from cremation of dead
Cremation.
bodies, right? And then what is a Holocaust?
Where they burnt a bunch of bodies. Oh my goodness.
A diamond factory.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And who was dying? Man was dying. You see what I'm saying? So yep, got us a diamond. Diamond business. There it is, right in the name. So yeah, that's how you gotta do it. Put that shit
Blood
together.
diamonds. Blood diamonds.
Blood,
Blood diamonds.
blood diamonds. Mm. What does that mean? Mm. Yeah. Yeah. What does that mean? What does it mean?
It has a deeper
Wouldn't
meaning
kidney
now.
stones and gallstones be crystal?
It made me think about that. Yeah, that's
Kidney stones
crystallized.
and stuff?
It is there. That is crystallized. That's calcification is actually crystallization. So when you calcify your pineal gland, that's a
Yeah.
crystallizing
Right.
of calcite. Yeah. So, but also, crystal glass also has that carbonate in it as well. It says carbonate is infused into the crystal glass. Says, remember when, I don't know if you ever, when you were a child, when somebody would say, if you were standing in front of the TV, they would say, "You're not made of glass. Move in front of the TV. Get away from me. I
Right.
can't see through you. You're not made of glass." Well, yes, we are. Then in that case as well,
Right.
Yeah.
Or your daddy was a glass maker.
Say that again.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of it, because you're discovering more of how we are it. We are everything. The microcosm of the macrocosm, the periodic table and the electromagnetic spectrum. We are it. Whatever's on the periodic table is in us. Whatever the electromagnetic spectrum has, it's in us. We are all of that. And we are that which causes that to be. The electromagnetic spectrum and the periodic table. We are that, which is the soul. This is the I admit philosophy from the soul healer. I am a soul, and as a soul, I use the periodic table and the electromagnetic spectrum to create this physical body that my personality used to express its uniqueness. So gold, diamond, silver, zinc is all in here. My person is all of that shit.
So
Man,
I
My
got one
personality
more.
uses it all in a unique way.
that would mean that all the elements are its own type of consciousness. So even the air or the electrons or whatever the air
Exactly.
that you're breathing is also conscious, like within itself fully. And then fire is conscious, and the earth is conscious, and water is conscious,
Yes.
and all of those put together
Yes.
create a different form of consciousness.
Ooh. Well, our
Yeah.
DNA.
Yep. Yep.
I wanted to say one last thing about what I found as far as the crystal piece of it. Because that's like we pick up signals and things. Like I said, we are the bowls, the crystal bowls. So if we pick up signals and we can divine through those crystals, that that is what, that fiber optic stuff, that the Verizon uses, or whoever, uh, uh, telecom uses these fiber optics, right? That's made of that crystal. Those crystal cables the fiber optics are made of crystals, which is,
It's light.
now they're burying them in DC. They have what I think is like a crystal grid Verizon has created a crystal grid underground, somewhere between a foot to 2 to 3 inches under the ground. So we're walking on those transmissions. If you know where those ley lines are, where those grid lines are, where they've created that crystal grid throughout, like, DC. I know we have it underground in DC. I don't know where else.
Yeah, it's
It's
light.
a GMO mycelium network.
Yeah, yeah.
A GMO mycelium network.
And they
The
have
same
like
as
this
they
one.
created a GMO. Well,
Right,
just as though they created a GMO.
Right, imitating the original.
Yeah.
Right, that's what GMO is, genetically modified. Like they modified it.
And we are the original.
Right, you took a piece of it and you modified it into something else. So that's basically technically what TV is. The television. We go through the Brigitte television and all that stuff. That's your vision. That's a lie. That's not telepathy. You see what I'm saying? But it's a GMO version of telepathy. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Transmitting the communications or the vibrations or the whatever the communication is. But DNA is made of liquid crystal.
Right, which is what you were just talking about with the fiber optics, with the cables and stuff. That's what they got that front basically. That's your eyes. That's your eyes. If you study the eyes, the retina, your optic nerves, all that stuff. Your fiber optic.
Yes.
Optic is
Fiber optic nerve.
Yeah. And then your nerves have all kinds of stuff that transmits and sends information to. If that's how you know that something's hurting. If I pinch you, it's because that's the feelings in your nerves tells you that something. Ow,
ran through it. Yeah.
If I step on your toe, or if someone caresses you, it doesn't have to be pain. It could be pleasure. You see what I'm saying?
Sensory.
Either way, there's a message. Right, sensory. There's a message being sent.
Yeah.
So when you tap into yourself and you are aware of all the information that you're taking in from light, that's a lot of information. We didn't focus on it all, but that's a lot of information that you hold, that you have accumulated through all of this time. So, don't I say what? Out of the ashes rise the phoenix, right? So, what do you think they really doing with the ashes?
Right.
You see what I mean?
And
I would think
they
that's
let you
very
come.
important.
Some people opt to go and watch the cremation and watch them put the crystals in the container, because I think there may be some distrust of the process of, wondering, am I actually getting the remains of my person? But then that way they don't get to mine the crystals out of it.
Yeah, if you know, it's some type of, it's this book I was reading that tells you all, like, what's actually in the heart of the crystal. I think it's like the white fiery core. And it's once it's all burned out or something, it's like this crystal, like this stone or something, like the philosopher's stone or something like that is what is really of value, because the body is nothing. You see what I'm saying? These are just accumulated expressions of a lot of information. So it's like that's a crystal. So your body again is the crystal. So when you burn it, put the pressure under fire, it's gold. Black gold,
Right.
Texas tea. That's what the real value is. Gold tried in the fire.
Woo. Wow.
So because you're
Well,
electricity. That's white fire, of course. Spatial fire is white fire, which is electricity, which is
one
lightning.
level wellness. Love plus art equals wellness. Heart happy hour. Sorry, guys, I'm delayed at bringing you into Soulful Sunday. Welcome to season 5 of Heart Happy Hour. Bowl Master Tony and Master Chef High Priest. Welcome to Soulful Sunday, Precious Mother Love. Ashe. Apologies. Pause for the cause. We took a station break. Ashe.
Okay.
So we are crystals. We are stardust. We can be cremated, and we can find the crystals in our cremains. And we are electric. The fiber optics crystal grid that goes through the ground, that affects us. That's what did we say it was? The GMO mycelium network, made of the crystals, similar to the crystals that we're made of. And our DNA is liquid crystal. Ashe, recap, redone. Thank you for allowing me to do that. One love. Ashe.
And we may intentionally amplify the piezoelectricity of the crystals in our pineal gland by certain exercises.
Yes, and crystals are found in our urine. Crystals are found in our ears. Calcium carbonate is in our ears, or limestone. There's crystals in our brain, magnetite. Yes, we are stardust, and crystals are found in the asteroids. They're mining asteroids. On October the 22nd, there was a rocket that went up named Lucy in the sky with diamonds. It was sent into the sky to mine the asteroids. It's on a 12-year probe or whatever course, to mine diamonds from 8 different asteroids. So that's Star Wars is
Right.
that gives me another feeling to the name Star Wars. Like, I guess other countries are doing the same thing, possibly going up and grabbing a few diamonds on an asteroid. That's crazy. That's another free market.
I guess that's the thing to do if you don't have.
If you got the money to do it.
That's what you do if you don't have the ability to create your own diamond. Well, yeah, and if you don't have the ability to create your own diamonds.
So you got to learn how to use your own diamonds. Diamonds are in our computers. Diamonds are in the crystal that's on the cell phone covering. That's what I'm told.
So how do we do that, Precious? So how do we bridge that? Yeah, so how do we bridge all these diamonds? We just did a beautiful recap of the diamonds, and crystals rather. We kind of, did a little bit more with the diamonds at the end. But based upon the recap of these crystals, how is there a connection to our everyday daily life as we sitting around talking, we're traveling in the car, riding around, and as we dealing with people on our journey? How do we use this information in a practical way?
Well, having the knowledge of the fact that we're walking around on a crystal grid, I believe the grounding part that we're talking about may have a lot of significance for us to slough off some of the energies that we might pick up. Like, for instance, when I took a Reiki class, I think Master Chef, you were there. One of the things they said, once you do the clearing and you do the Reiki on someone, between each, or even while you're doing that person, you're supposed to touch ground objects to ground yourself, to release that energy. So I would say that we want to do activities that would allow us to not only ground, but ways to release that energy by using grounding, not just touching the ground itself, but things that are innate objects. Like, even though a tree is not innate, it's not animate. It is alive, but it is you can ground by touching wood or touching a wall or touching other objects to release some of that energy. Like when you touch a doorknob and you release some of that shock on the door, that's usually because you have built up static energy in you, or static electricity, as they say. So I would say, to protect ourselves, to be conscious of the rubber shoes that we're wearing, the kinds of jewelry that we're wearing, use protective crystals, or even just enact within yourself, just mentally put some parameters on yourself as far as protective shields, things that might be enacted or activated at your will for your purpose of protection. So that's my thought. I'll think of more, I'm sure, but that's off the cuff. When you asked me, that was off the top. Because this is a new
And do
conversation
you
to
have
me.
anything specific that you already do that? Right. And do you have anything specific that you can say that you actually do that's already incorporated in your life? In your life?
Well, everything I just named is what I do. That's my experience. I will touch a wall to release the energy. I'll put my I'll put my protective enact my protective shield, that kind of thing. Wonder powers activate, those kinds of things.
So, mhm. So when sharing information, this is the attempt. It's a beneficial comment. When you share information, as far as here's some things that you can do, or maybe I almost want to say you think you said read about or came across some information, but at any rate, if you say here's some things you can do, that's one vibration. And if you say, now here's what I do, this is my lifestyle, that's a different vibration, because it says that there's many ways you can do it. This is how I personally do it, as opposed to, well, this is what they say, and it may or may not work. So just saying, being a little bit more dramatic and extreme, which is why we keep going back to I admit, because I admit is more so about this is some information out here, and this is the way that I either perceive it or put it together, or is interesting. Haven't quite put it someplace yet, but it's interesting. So what to do with this information? And at some point, we either say this is how we can see it to be used, or this is how we've taken it and used it and applied it, and this is the result we've got with it. So the I admit is about being the experiment, being saying, okay, it looks good, I'm gonna do it and report back with you. Oh, I've been working with it, and this is the results of it. So this, and as we share it this way,
Yesterday I had an experience of an over
our crystal.
So thank you for asking that question, because you just reminded me that I had an experience yesterday that is speaking to that exact same thing. So I had a visit with two friends of mine. And while I was there, because of the energy that, like, there was a huge TV on, there was all this music that was playing in the background. There were all these frequencies that were going around the room from everything. And I got to a place where I felt a surge of energies, and I decided to get up and go gather myself. I actually had to move away from where they were, and I actually went into the bathroom, and something told me to wash my hands. While I was washing my hands, actually there was no plug. There was no plug on the sink. So I was like, a lot of times, when you like to be near water or whatever, I felt like that. I used the image of that plumbing opening as my access to the open waters. So I says, okay, well, I'm just going to wash my hands and wash this energy off of me and allow the energy. And it helped. It worked. It really toned my energy back down to a volume that I could, be regular. I could go back to my regular, programming and see what was going on. So I got up, just to see how I felt. And then when I was led to, and I feel like I didn't know what to do, but I felt like I was led to go wash my hands. And when I did, I found that the drain was open. And so it just all logically, me connecting to the open water through the pipes, blah, blah, blah. But that's how I think. I get outside of the box. I get bigger and bigger with my thoughts because I could be like, oh, I'm nowhere near the water, but that's where I went in my mind. Like, this is going to, and it did. It desensitized a lot of that energy, sloughed it off, and I was able to go back to normal. But it was a serious surge and a rush. It was like I had to find a surge release, and that's what that was. I put water on my face too. I put it on my arms a little bit. Woo, yes. Thank you for reminding me. it was it definitely was a noticeable surge that I wasn't sure how to handle, but that's spirit led me through the process of release.
So what can you do with that?
Uh Share that with others to let them know if you ever get to the place where you're overwhelmed by the waves in the air, that you would be able to balance the energies back to a safe place. If you separate yourself from the energy and maybe whatever is accumulated in you, release it. And
What is that energy? What is
it's a buildup of static electricity.
all right, and what
That's
is
what
that?
I'm speaking to.
And what is that?
What is the buildup?
What is the
What is
buildup of
electricity?
static? What you just said. What is the buildup of static electricity? What does that look like?
I don't know what it looked like, but I know what it felt like. It just felt like I had a energetic surge within me. I felt a rush of energy.
What was around you? What was around you that caused that?
Like like I was sharing, it was a huge television screen. I'm sorry, it was two television screens. One was a plasma, the other was a regular flat screen. I think there's crystal in that as well. There was a lot of music going. The lights, he actually has about 6 different lights in his house that do the spectrum roam. They blink intermittently all over the room in blue, green, yellow, orange, purple, red. He likes to
Yeah,
he
yeah,
likes he likes that sensory he likes
right.
that sensory overload.
Hmm.
you know. But I
So again,
found out those two cats were wizards. I did not, the two guys that I was at the house visiting, I didn't realize that they were, because once I told them what was happening to me and once they saw what happened, they were like, oh, she's picking up some stuff. Because we actually had a conversation after that about how they manipulate energy.
hmm
So
so
yeah, so that
so
sensory overload got to me.
so again, these are coordinated to what? Apparently, your nerves.
Okay.
Right. This is all connected to your nerves. This is what we were talking about earlier. So this energy, what does it? Where does it come from? How is it created? You got lights, you got music, you got plasma screens, you got flat screens, you got all kinds of stuff that is playing on your senses, causing you to react a certain type of way.
Right.
So how do you use that? I guess the connection failed.
Yeah, the connection failed.
But so basically, I guess there'll be like ways that energy is generated or comes up. So for instance, when you were talking earlier, you said if someone says, well, this is what you can do to make this happen and so forth and so on, and then someone else comes back and then but there's a different way, like this is what I do to cause this. It's a different vibration. It causes a different effect. You see what I'm saying? It's just how you maneuver your words, how you manipulate your words, or your attitude or your energy, or so forth and so on. So when you feel these rushes, they look a certain type of way. So for instance, if someone is talking and then they cut them off abruptly, then that will cause a certain vibration, which will also cause a rush of energy to accumulate or to form into a particular
Oh,
effect.
I get that.
You see what I'm saying? So it's not
That's
so
like
it's
when you're
again,
peeing and you're trying to hold your pee. When you're in the middle of the stream, it's hard to clamp. So I could get that. That's what that brought to mind. If you have a hard time cutting it off, that energy, you're streaming it out, but to hold it in at that point could
right. So
cause.
the person that cuts it off would be causing that energy. If you've ever done that exercise before, where you're peeing and then you cut it off midstream, flex your kegels and cut it off midstream, then yeah, it causes a little bit of discomfort until you feel it. Well, when you're doing it, it's fine. But when someone else comes, if you go in the bathroom and somebody else comes in and cuts off your stream, that's very uncomfortable. And that's what causes cause so that's yeah, it'll cause an attitude, it'll cause a fight. You see what I'm saying? Those are the results of, or that's the effect of that cause.
a,
So
a
so
backup or a buildup.
so right. So when you feel these type of energies and so forth, that can also cause rushes and stuff. So it's where you're pushing the rush. You know what I'm saying? What you acknowledge and what you decide to bring up. Now, regardless of whether if you don't bring it up or speak it up, then that energy is just welling up inside of you. And it'll
You
come
hear
out a certain
something?
type of way later.
Do you guys hear some cuts and blurps? Are you hearing any other stuff going on? Music or anything?
No, just a little echo from us talking. I can hear the playback from
Oh,
it's not got lives and stuff.
oh, okay, okay. Yeah. But
So yeah, I wanna say precious mother love. When you share the story about the actual experience, personally again that hit differently. There was more of a connection because my person actually saw you in the bathroom with the water. We saw the thing, the hole going straight down. We saw a portal, so we saw all of that. And again, what we heard you saying was, as a crystal, you was in a lot of GMO shit. The shit was thick GMO. You got the two TVs going, the music going, the strobe light, niggas in there, and they vibration doing some shit. So you was thick in it. And at some point it became overwhelming. And because of your lifestyle already, you heard you say, you gotta clean this shit up. We gotta get that shit back right. So you just went in the bathroom and you did what you was told to do to get your crystal. In other words, same as go out in the sun and charge in the sun. So
yeah,
being in the moon, get the moon recharged. So whatever do you to your own crystal, whatever for your own crystal that you have, the sunlight, the moonlight, wash with the water, sea salt, as a bio crystal, the suggestion is to have our own cleansing and charging mechanism for our own crystal. And so that's what you're saying when you tell your own story about this, how you do it, and you're saying all you did was you took the principle of what you know and your imagination, the childlike imagination, and the principle and the adult principle of the laws and the childlike imagination. You combine the two, the inner child and the intellect, and you said, let's clean this shit up. And you came back out as Superwoman, ready to deal with this motherfucking shit out here now. You just charge your crystal and cleanse and charge your crystal by listening to the God, to yourself on the inside. So that's why I was going
I did a
to tell you a
reset.
story, because it hits different, because it's all of our story.
I felt like it was a reset.
Yes.
Yes, it was
Yeah.
a reset. But I also imagined that the
Yeah.
solar eclipse is like an energetic
Yeah.
reset for us as well. I felt like that solar eclipse was like a
Yeah.
reset as well. When that black sun came over, or it looked like black crystal, possibly, whatever the case is. I'm just saying, when it covered the sun, it made me feel like that was a white rebalance or a black rebalance. And I feel like my energy was refreshed to a degree because I actually took a nap during some of that time as well. I watched it when it went over, and about 20 minutes after it started, went to what its fullness was and was on its recession or whatever you call it, waxing and waning, moving past it.
Right.
I went to sleep because it felt like it was a squeezing, when you squeeze something through and it comes out on the other side. I don't know, kind of like when you squeeze a pimple or a bump. It kind of felt like the energy was, I was being pushed through a sift, and when I ended up having a really bad sinus pressure headache, but it was right here. So I say sinus pressure headache, but it was right here in the third eye area. So, that you just reminded me of that when I said reset, because I believe that was triggered my extra sensitivity. I believe it cleaned my palate from some of the things that might have been more stagnant, as far as broke through some of the blocks, some of the veil, some of the crystallization, some of the calcification, some of sloughed off some of the stuff that, squeezed out some of the essence. Wow.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Squirt.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That's it.
Yes.
Excellent. Yeah.
Look.
That's how this shit works. Yeah. Just like that. Textbook.
Well, I have another excrement to speak of, and that's snot. I've been down the rabbit hole. This is fresh manna. This is this morning. Snot, because I have my sinuses started draining a little bit this morning, right? And so I lay my head back, and so when you blow your nose, it seems to come down more down the front. But when you lean your head back and you like snip it down or snork it down or whatever that noise is we make, that noise reminds me of the water breath. That's the noise you make kind of when you're snoring. Well, right, but you see, I found in my experience, I have studied a few people when they were asleep, and actually when they were asleep and snoring, the snoring was communicating with me, and I feel like it's their spirit speaking while I'm interpreting the snoring. So when I leaned my head back this morning and I started hearing myself making that snoring noise when I was sniffing, and then I realized that it's very similar to that water breath that we do when we do the gateway. So it made me think about how I say that snore is a language, and how when we're doing the water breath, tapping our crystals, tapping our soul, our chakras, like it started
with our crystals.
So what was it saying? Get me out of this prison? Like, oh my God, get us out. Let us out.
It's as though
clear it up.
It's as though I could talk to myself, like the inner vibe, the vibe. I'm vibing the energy in to myself. So when I started, I was able to. Okay, let me see if I can.
Yeah.
I was finding ways to talk during that snort, that sniff. And you feel it so like I felt an energy from it from the things that, oh my God. I feel it in my lungs. I feel it in my heart. I feel it in the upper body of me. Like
It's like a
energize
vibration.
myself with that. Huh?
It's like a vibration.
But it's like I feel like I'm energizing myself with that. So if we're spelling these things when the breath is leaving the vortex with a vibration, when we say these emanations, what happens? This is new. I don't know. It's a question. When we inhale and we breathe in, like these are different types of, language initially was those kinds of things, where we were emitting different, like we might be doing it all wrong as far as the communication part. They got so much other stuff. I mean, hey, we just found out that they mining crystals in the graveyard. I mean, they mining diamonds in the sky.
Well, you just
I'm
found out.
saying, I just found out. I just found out that. My God. So when I said that, as far as the internal talking, I want to find out more about what that
Yeah.
does. What does that? What's the link between the vibe and the
So
breath and the internal part? Because when you listen to those records backwards, those rock and roll records backwards, when they start talking, they're talking backwards, but they're also emitting their breath backwards according to what, and apparently that has an energy and a power. So that connected to me when I said, if we start doing that internal breath, the snore as well, because that's what I'm saying. When I hear the snoring, I hear a language in their
Can you do
snores.
that? Can you do that and talk at the same time?
That's what I just did. I am talking inside, is what I just said.
Yeah, keep doing that.
so yeah. So that's beautiful. Yeah, keep doing it.
I'm gonna try it.
Because
I'm gonna
what's
let
gonna
y'all know next week.
happen is what's gonna happen. No. And what's gonna happen is you're gonna find your tribe for that because everything has a portal because that came to you as a way to link with your higher self. Then it has to be a thing. And so it's just a matter of time before you connect with somebody else who is actually on that same frequency. You guys begin to do that thing together. All of it's valid, while at the same time, certain things resonates. We still have our unique individual path. So, this is a platform to share all the uniqueness. It says, hey, you know what, the tribe, if they get down like this, baby, this is just
I'm
another
sure there are some.
modality. You see, so that's beautiful. That has to
There
be.
are different
That's the law.
languages.
Yeah.
There are different languages that include parts of it
Yeah.
being snorty.
Yeah, and so
Snuffleupagus.
and personally that resonates because and so dealing with another my person was a part of another tribe briefly, another community, and in that community there was one sister who was the foremost, what we call my person called it binary language, but it was light language or code language. And my person has started toying around with it because right. So that's my
Even
person. And so
Vietnamese and
it just right.
Polynesian.
Yeah, that.
Well, yeah. You got there's some physical languages that represent that, but again, coming from that same place
Right.
of uttering sounds with the intention of a specific purpose. So we're tapping into again, yeah. So again, we're just again an example of the same yet different. Because there's many languages. Shit, the motherfucking first written languages ain't saying shit, no sound coming out. But then when you got the sounds coming out, just like there are infinite ways to have sounds come out to and communicate, infinite. So that's why it's all valid. It has to be.
Like for instance, if somebody's talking, right? And it's certain ways to use this language that you
Right.
can do it to hold on to what it is that you're saying or the point that you're looking to convey. And then someone they'll try to jump in and say be like, and all of a sudden they know, hey, okay, maybe yeah, because it's not what you know what I'm saying. This is not your time to jump in and throw it in because the person hasn't finished yet. You see what I'm saying? So there's levels of respect to that, and then when they try to come in, then that. So it's all it's funny because it's not because it sounds. It's not even rude. What's rude is the fact that you're trying to talk over this sound. You see what I'm saying? Or is it? Depending on the vibration or whatever it is that you're coming from. Because everybody interrupts everybody all the time. But it's how is it? Why is it? What's the intent or the purpose of all of the interruptions, the crystallizations, the different transformations of this and where it's going and so forth and so on. So it's interesting how how you can incorporate these different, these make it, get, oh man.
Right. Yep. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. So with that, so how does this communication transfers to love between the neighbor? How do you communicate? And how many ways are you able to communicate the love for your neighbor if you love your neighbor? And who is your neighbor if you do love your neighbor? Who the motherfucking neighbor is if you do love them? And how do you love them? How do you communicate that love in the infinite ways? Hi,
I had a neighbor to call me yesterday and asked me to
First of all,
show
what makes them a
some.
neighbor?
They live in the same building.
What makes them a neighbor?
This particular, for them, they live in the same building.
Is that the only? So you don't have neighbors in your building?
What if they live in the next state and that's the neighboring state?
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. I don't know.
Is that also a
Yes,
neighbor?
yes. Love thy neighbor as you love yourself. So anybody who's not you has the potential of being the neighbor.
Why you cut
But
you out?
everyone
Has
is
the
you.
potential. That's right.
Why you cut you out?
Ooh. This is I admit shit
Well,
now.
everybody is you. Everybody is you, and you are everybody. So if you love everybody as you love yourself, of course you love yourself first, and then you have something to share. But yes.
Yeah, no, you said everybody except you is a neighbor.
But then how do you?
So it's like, don't cut you out because you a neighbor
Okay.
too. You the source of the neighbor. You the neighborhood.
Yes, I'm neighborly.
Yeah, all of that. You the neighbor. So if you're loving your neighbor as yourself, then are you loving yourself? Because if you're loving yourself, then you can love your neighbor. Because you loving you the neighbor. It's a play on words. It's you the neighbor. You love yourself.
Yeah.
Know thyself. Know all the stuff that you can do. It's always it's like a distraction in itself. Like who wrote that? You know what I'm saying? Like and where are they coming from? Love that person as it's you. So if I love that person as it's me, that's deep because that could go a whole lot of ways. You know what I'm saying? Do I'm gonna bathe this person? Because I do. I love myself. I go
Right.
to spa days. I do this. I do not. Not like but just taking care of yourself. You see what I'm saying? Going running, going exercising. That's like our type of spot. Like you go lift some weights or something, or cause that resistance. Do some sit-ups. Go swimming. Go do something crazy. Go climb a mountain. You see what I'm saying? All of these different spa days. You see what I'm saying? So it's like loving your neighbor as yourself. Like, yo, come on, y'all can come out. Come out and do this. This is how I love myself. Let me show you how I love how I do it.
Yeah, a lot of times I see neighborly
What if you
things
lie
happen when a
to yourself?
snowstorm when a snowstorm comes. When a snowstorm comes, people go door to door knocking, especially checking in on the elderly. I remember a lot of times when it does snow, everybody's stuck in the house, so they come and they exchange things. This is what I've experienced. I'm just saying, in snowstorms, I see the neighborly, or even in regular storms, and in COVID, I saw a lot of neighborly things happening. People making sure that they had masks and tests, or, were getting groceries, or, I had different people calling and actually bringing things by when I
That's
needed it, being very neighborly.
Right.
So times of
that
crises,
seems to
I
be
think,
conditional love.
okay, it can be considered to come out during those times, yes, where the conditions change, the
Yeah, it
crises
appears.
mode.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's like I would keep
And
that
so then
thing.
the question becomes, because some people love themselves that way, conditionally. Some people love themselves conditionally.
Mm,
What does that look like?
mm,
Some people lie to themselves on purpose, intentionally. They
mm.
gonna say, they gonna say, they gonna say, they gonna say, they gonna do some shit knowing they ain't got no well intention on doing this shit.
Yeah.
They just
Yeah,
want to, I'm gonna do this. They be talking to themselves, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do it. And they ain't got no plan, they say, hey, they ain't doing that, and they ain't gonna do it. So if they lie, and if that's how they love themselves, then what would they do with you? They would lie to you. That's how they do themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So love, because it's good to look at love as giving, Christmas, Mother's Day, or you're sharing, you're assisting, you're helping. That's the
not
highest
agape.
vibration of love. Again, everything is a duality. Right. So then you got the lower vibration. Then there's the conditional love. So, and that conditional love again is we love ourselves at certain times. At certain times, you're gonna put the best thing in our body because it's for the best thing, gonna be the best we can be. At certain times, we just gonna fuck our shit up. We're gonna be in the bathroom for a minute, but we're gonna eat this shit because it's here and everybody's doing it. And we'll deal with this shit later on. It'll set us back for a minute, but we're gonna deal with it. That's that you
Been there,
love
done
yourself because
that.
you give yourself pleasure at the expense. Because that's a different type of love.
Of yourself.
So again,
Yeah, wow.
how do
But
you love
that's
yourself?
that's
How
like
do
a
you love yourself? How
calculated.
do you love your neighbor? And if everybody's your neighbor,
So you're forgiving
yeah.
yourself. You're a forgiving
And
goddess of
so,
yourself,
But are
in
you?
my
but here's the
mind.
thing. And so here's the thing. When you interact with somebody else, a two-part goal. One, you are reflecting them. They're reflecting you, but you also reflecting them. And so again, to the degree, this is very very intricate here, very intricate. So for my person, the way it works is my person is big. What Tony said, the neighbor is the motherfucking humanity. It's motherfucker. Everybody's including self. Everybody's a goddamn neighbor. So everybody's a neighbor. So my person is also saying it chooses to love itself unconditionally. So what does it look like? Then it has to love the outside unconditionally. Foundationally, non-judgmental. Non-judgmental. We ain't feeling a certain way how you choose to do whatever the fuck you want to do. We ain't because we love you. So however you choose to express yourself, you do that. We're not gonna stop you because we love you enough to allow the full expression of your free will or this high, whatever you see fit, you know. And we love ourselves so much, if it don't resonate, we're gonna leave your ass fuck alone. Because we love ourselves. We love ourselves enough to go over here and do over here and let you do over there. Because we don't want you to change you. We want you to do the best you can be. And if my person is not adding to it, it's taken away. So it's best for my person to separate itself. Because it loves you enough not to bring you down, not because we're at peace. We're not saying yes, do that to yourself, eat that to yourself, kill yourself. Since we're not cheering you on with doing that shit, it's best to leave. If you ain't got nothing good to say, then don't say nothing. If we don't have a vibration that says we're supporting you, then as far as a relationship goes, because we passed by on the bus, it happened on the bus right here. Temporarily, we cannot support you in what you're doing and still be at peace and it still be beneficial. However, in a relationship, it's a give and take. You gonna want my person to be supportive, energetic, quite a bit of times of the shit you do. But if it's not wired to do that because it don't really agree, then it has to separate itself in a relationship. However, on a day-to-day basis, we can be at peace around you, cordial around you, but there's no long-term no. And so the love my person has for you was unconditional enough that we're not going to be around you just to be at peace. We're not supporting you saying go, go, go. It's best to separate because we're going to allow you to do what you do. And we love ourselves to put ourselves around someone who's going to support us like that. And until that happens, we just going to be at peace with self and love ourselves unconditionally, because with that love for self, again, there's gods in here too, and the spirit of self, I and God. So loving self, loving God. And so that relationship is unconditional. So again, we're just taking it just from Tony. This just came from what Tony just said about loving everyone's your neighbor, including yourself, and the upload from Personal Love, which is she was talking about the love. It's like, well, that sounds like conditional. Then they had to say, well, what's unconditional? And the foundation for my person was unconditional, non-judgment.
Short.
And so loving self, we're not hard on self. Our person don't beat itself up. It's not hard on itself because it loves itself unconditional. It supports itself. That's why we had a marriage between the heart and the mind. And so whatever happens, we're gonna take accountability for it because we love ourselves. We did it together. And if it wasn't pleasant, we're gonna talk to ourselves, the heart and the mind, and says, how can our next experience be better? Because we love ourselves. So we talk to the heart and the mind because we love ourselves. We're not hard on ourselves, because that's generally the masculine coming out on the feminine on why your energy move this way. We wanted this shit to happen. Why you move this way? Why you do this? The masculine being hard on the feminine on the inside. Or could be the reverse. So my person is saying that's how we love itself unconditional. And since it does that for itself, it does it for its neighbor. Neighbor be hard on him. So because this shit's from the programming, just have to put the disclaimer. If you find a nigga being hard on you, it just may be some residue of this programming runs deep.
Also one of the
this
conditions.
Moment in time and place and space.
Oh.
Sounds like there's levels to it.
Yeah, just saying from this time and place and space moving forward, that's the way to do it. Right. Levels, so this is where we at with it.
One of those levels I feel too is the ability to use discrimination. If you feel a certain type of way about something that doesn't feel like that, this feeling of unconditional love, then it's like you're able to use discrimination. Like you have that. You know what I mean? It's like, yo, this doesn't feel good. This doesn't feel like, what about me is not feeling unconditionally loving. You know what I mean? Like, where is this energy coming from? You know what I mean? That's interesting.
Well, can I say this about the levels? Okay, so I feel like the distance, when you say you place distance between people, so then that person becomes a distant neighbor. So you're better able to love them from a distance, sort of thing. That's why I was saying there was levels, because you put them in certain Like they're maybe not at the top of the or the inner circle or the nuclear family sort of thing.
Yes.
And then also as far as the part about forgiving,
Yes.
because I was saying forgiving, like sometimes, you know, you forgive yourself. If you say something to yourself, not always are you saying that, oh man, I'm never going to do that, but you're saying it to yourself or saying it to others and like saying it to yourself. Okay, yeah, I'm going to do this. But the intention is to do it. But then you can actually, you know, that can become a pressured position where you have something come up and then he's like, okay, well, they'll have to forgive me for my absence, or what do you call it? I'm gonna have to send my regrets or whatever. You don't have to send regrets per se, but I'm saying that's the protocol that society puts in position for those times to release yourself from per se that honorable commitment. But it made me think about when I decided to step away, that unconditional love of yourself as well. Because when I stepped away from the table, when I was at my, you know, being bombarded with all of what I felt was, you know, all these waves and energy, you know, loving myself enough to say, to take access of, I'm in a position where I'm feeling different. Something's not right. Something feels off. Let me take assessment of where I am and what I can do to put myself in a better position or better energy or make myself feel better. So at that point, you know, because when I stood up, it was almost like it was an apprehension. They were like, no, what you doing? Where you going? Why you up? Because they were in the process of doing some energetic work that I wasn't aware of. So when I got up and was able to pull myself away from them, yeah, I didn't realize what they were doing until after the fact. And we actually had a discussion of it. But what I was saying was I actually had to put myself into the position of recognizing something's not right here. Let me get into a better space. Let me put myself into a better position. So I'm saying that's another form of unconditional love for myself. Instead of sitting through it and saying, damn, I got a headache. Damn, I don't feel good. You know, whatever, sitting in it and letting myself succumb to that.
Yes.
I was able to slough it off and nip it in the butt, which is a lot of times the way it happens when, let's just say, I can feel symptoms of things happening to my vessel. It sends me a sign or a symptom, whether it's, you know, like this morning, the runny nose, well, the postnasal drip kind of thing, which led me to that snore thing. But what I'm saying is that paying attention to that and getting to the bottom of, you know, what that was caused by and trying to relieve it, that's again me taking the first steps to improving and paying attention to loving up on the self-care, the self-love through the science of self, to allow myself to learn from the signs and the symptoms that were being sent from what the senses were doing. So that was today and yesterday in a nutshell.
Textbook, baby.
Learning.
Textbook.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah, that's it. That's it. This is how it manifests. This is how the principles manifest. You see, in our individual lives, the same principles. This is how we manifest. How you working with them. Yeah, this is Soulful Discussion, baby. Ow.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, it's you know, let that breathe. Yeah, we're here. 36. And we begin the wind down process, you know, recapping if need be, or if we need to recapping and any announcements, you know, because
Yeah. I got two things I want to talk about. One is a 420 friendly thing, and the other is an event. But you go ahead first. Go ahead, please. Go ahead, Tony.
Well, the main thing is we are. We're just saying we introducing this Soulful Sundays piece with the 1 o'clock sound bath, the official sound bath Sister Deliette does that Blissful Sounds. So we're looking. The idea is to combine the conversation. This is on unconditional love. You know, for the most part, the theme that we closed out with unconditional love, love and enable unconditional love. And so the sound bath meditation, the focus will also be on unconditional love. So with the sound bath, you get to experience the vibration of unconditional love with self. So that's how we add the intellect with the discussion, along with the emotion of feeling, the vibration of the discussion. So combining the intellect and the masculine and feminine, the intellect and the emotion, and the feeling of what that looks like. Soulful Sundays is expanded to be very soulful, very soulful. And after that, of course, for those who are interested, there's a drum circle going on, and there's also the healing and creative art student with Dr. Uzman, the healing service, Healing Sunday. My person will be there as well. So after the healing African dancing, we'll do the bowl with some breathing to wind down and integration after that up there. And, those are the main things. Couple Friday, come on through Friday. We'll be a little bit more intimate. You know, talking about some things of the art of sovereign living. You see, from the happy heart perspective. How happy our soul living is all the same thing. And again, it's more intimate because again, it's more specifically how the itness is being manifested through soul healing and law. The law of soul healing, the law of science itself, you know, soul healing and law of soul.
Love plus art equals wellness. Can I do a time check? I'm not hearing you.
Yes. It's 12:38 now. It's 12:38.
Okay, because you said we were winding down. I thought. Okay, good. Yeah. So when you said winding down, I thought it was 12:56 or something.
No. So the idea now is to really begin to at 12:30 to have a half an hour. My person got to pack up the equipment, you know, the stuff here, and also to have little light snack, break something to eat, you know, before the 1 o'clock. And nothing really heavy, but just something to kind of, you know, catch our breath, the transition before we go, you know, with the sound bowl. So it's a catch our breath kind of thing. So moving forward, we're going to start winding down, and you know, ideally in around 12:30ish. So, and because it's just us here today, it wasn't that big of a thing. So it's at 12:39 now. Our person is starting to pack up now, and eating a little something is going over the sound bowl meditation. So that's what's happening.
Okay. Well, I want to finish that little discussion I started earlier about 420 before I make the announcement. So I need about 5 minutes or maybe 3 minutes.
You got it.
If that's,
You got it. Yeah, you got it.
Okay. Yeah, so in reference to 420, you know, because I considered to possibly call it, I said Dogon Day yesterday. I could say Serious Day, because, you know, in a couple days is Earth Day, but Serious Day because it has been said that the Dogon brought the marijuana or cannabis plant to this planet. They've actually admitted that they did. You know, and a Khan priest had said the same thing, that he had found that they were saying that they had brought the marijuana plant here. And so I thought about it being in reference to how we get to an elevated state of mind, how you can, your mind is a lot more open to and susceptible to, like it puts your brain in the state or in the wavelength that where you're able to receive transmissions. So I say that in reference to something that I saw on Neil deGrasse Tyson, the astrophysicist who has a show about space whatevers. So he had a cannabis doctor come on his show and talk about some of the breakdown of the fact that our body has cannabinoid receptors in it, has a cannabinoid receptor system that allows us to receive the cannabinoids in our vessel and to be able to bond with it and get the actual experience of the THC or the CBD. So I just wanted to, and I'll keep it brief in this case, but our body is almost like our body is made to receive what the THC and CBD is giving us, which is, they have three things they say that they can confirm. That's the only thing they will confirm. There are others, and I can say some of those, but one is for chronic pain. It relieves chronic pain. It also relieves anxiety or helps one to relax or to sleep. Also, increase appetite for, like cancer patients or whatever. That was one of the ways they were able to start it to become legal. But then also for children, so they say it's 3+ reasons that they can say it's medicinal, and we're able to put it into medical grade, whatever. But it was for children or babies as an anti-seizure. So I'm just saying that, maybe we can later get into the specifics about, the receptivity that we have, the fact that on 420 today, there's a planetary parade going on. All these 5 planets are lining up: Venus, Mars, Neptune, Saturn, and the moon lining up. So you can actually see them in a straight kind of, depending on where you are, you'll get, better views. But yeah, so I think that 420 day has a deeper meaning and significance than I actually had ever thought about. And so when I had that awareness made of how we have receptors to that plant, we're made to actually receive what that plant's essence and offerings are. It became a lot more sacred. I know we call it the holy herb, or that I've heard it called, and that I've heard it called many, like a sacred sacrament, So it's very interesting that I've even heard that Daniel in the bush, that was actually marijuana or cannabis that was burning. I've also heard, supposedly that's where it is in the Bible. But I've also heard that from, the Jamaicans say it's a holy herb and helps you to commune with the energy or the communication of God. There's a couple of other things I wanted to say, but we'll save that for when we actually have time to really, really go into it, because I think that's a deep subject that we all each could have a segment on. And so the announcement would be about the full moon,
Well,
one of the fifth planet.
All you got to say right here.
So Tuesday is the full moon, and it's a private invitation only kind of thing. So if you know one of us, you can get an invitation, or you can reach out through Googling me. You'll be able to get my Google number and text me. You want to be invited to the full moon event if you are interested, and we'll take it from there, because it's, folks that we know that we've invited are ready for the kinds of things that we would expose ourselves to. Everybody's got a nice lane. We're just going to enjoy whatever our normal things are, but do it in a group. Drumming, crystal bowls, a huge bonfire. Bring your stones, bring whatever you normally would do, and we'll just commune together and share our tips, hints, and life hacks on the energy work, light workers. Also poetry and open mic. Because all of us have some talents. So One Love and Wellness. Thank you. Heart Happy Hour. One Love and Wellness. Ashe. Precious Mother Love. Your person? You got something?
Are you gone?
No. Okay, Go ahead.
As it partakes of this, plant-based snack, my person was told that we have receptors for all the plants. Mushrooms, kale, spinach. We have receptors to extract their essence. It's just that certain plants do certain things. Ayahuasca, DMT. Certain plants do certain things, so we can extract all this shit. We are it. They're it. They are a
Right.
reflection of what's inside of us, baby. We extract all this shit. Cocaine, cacao, all of it. You
And
name it.
create.
Beans,
Yeah.
peas, carrots. You name it.
And all those are things that
So yeah,
elevate
because
you
we are.
to the
Well, that's
elevated
my claim to fame on
mindset.
that. So we ain't got nothing else to say on it.
Yeah.
It's that.
Right. You
What
got the
say
kale
you,
and spinach, and
Bowmaster?
as above, so below.
I
All the
say.
we hitting all dimensions with the plants, from the physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual, and the soul. All of it to the plants. We got receptors for it. So choose the plants, baby, based upon your journey and how you feel. Yeah.
Bowmaster, what say you? You saying it with your bowl? I say.
All right. As you close out, pressing for the love. It's done.
Yes, yes. One Love and Wellness family. Thank you for joining us for another
All
Soulful
right.
Sunday
Closing us
episode
out
of
with a
Heart
bow.
Happy Hour, Season 5. Bowmaster Tony, you have anything you want to say? Parting words? Wonderful words of wellness, wisdom?
Wonderful words. Yeah. Yeah. Peace out, motherfuckers.
Woo! Got that energy, Spitfire. Drop it like it's hot.
Yeah.
Drop the mic.
Yeah, man.
Nah,
Mic drop.
shit. Watching him with that food, I'm hungry now. I'm like,
Burn it back with
Mm,
Bobby Hemmings.
my
yeah,
stomach is saying the same thing. Gotcha.
that's why you got to get that shit.
Get to them plants and watch the receptors open up to it.
Right. Watch them
Woo!
receptors and shit. You
Get some
eating
plants and
yourself.
watch them receptors open up to it. See how you
Yeah,
feel.
You
exactly.
eating your
Woo!
shit? Is that what you
You eating
said?
yourself. Yeah, that's them
Oh man.
groceries. You eating yourself. You made that. You the dirt. You the receptors that call in that cause that shit you made from the dirt as dust, and the dust from the dust you came, and the dust you shall return. And while you here, you eating dust and so forth and so on, and making it and da da da, and turning it into more dust. And that's the stardust, and that's the shit. That's the little particles that be floating all up in the
Stardust.
air and doing all this kind of shit. So you got the stardust, and you go eat the stardust, and you eat dust, and you are dust, and it is dust, and all of it's dust, and it's dust, and it's dust. And then when you swirl it around, it turns into a tornado
To suck
or
you
a
up into it.
torus field. Torsion field,
Woo!
tornado, tornado. It's your core. Yes, you be like coring it up and shit. And then you breathe, and then that spins that merry-go-round, and you can merry-go-round on the spinnersis of the sisyphus of the because that's where the evidence. And then once all that comes together, oh God, it's to the next level. It's together. You got all that. It's like no. What? No. You bring it back, and then it's like, oh wait a minute. Is that really all the magnificence? Is that a good? That's my shit. So shit.
Woo!
So like, fuck it, man.
Get it all out.
It's like,
Yeah.
yeah. You like,
Woo!
yeah, yeah,
That was very energetic. Woo! Woo!
yeah. Thank you.
Right on. Right
Thank
on,
you.
right on.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right.
Mm-hmm. That's how you gotta do it.
So, Tony, you want me to send you an invitation?
All right.
Did I send you
To
an
where?
invitation? Did you get the invitation?
I don't know. I don't know.
I
Where
think
is this place? What is going on?
I think I sent it to you. Let me send it to you again if I didn't. It's
Man,
on Tuesday. Will be, a nice gathering of woke folk. I believe we're waking up.
Woke folk. Our woke folk, not the Republican woke folk. Ah!
Some more shaman folk
Mo
like
shaman
ourselves,
folk.
Yeah.
Oh, them niggas.
Energy
Various
workers, light workers,
motherfuckers.
elevated beings, high vibing folks that vibe high.
No.
So, well, anyway, hope you can make it. Master Chef will be part of the festivities.
Oh, Master Shep shall be a part of the
Yeah, we'll be there this
festival.
time.
Yeah,
We gonna be in the house, baby. Talking this
Where's
IMN
yeah.
shit and holding
where
that
is this at?
vibration. Ooh.
It's in Maryland. It's not far from the temple. It's about
Okay.
maybe 12 minutes from the temple.
Okay. All right,
Yeah.
good. All right.
So,
That's good. No,
yeah.
Bring them bowls, baby.
Okay.
Bring them bowls.
Yeah,
You
Definitely,
know how we do
definitely.
it.
And
The bulls be
and
with
your
me
axe
everywhere.
and your guitar if you're still playing. And your axe if you want to plug in.
Oh, no, y'all. Oh, yeah, yeah. That my
And your poetry. Because I'm gonna do some poetry. Master Chef will probably get up and do some of his. So bring your poetry too. Any of your artistic talents that you'd like to share.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Well, one love
Yeah,
and
man.
wellness. Love plus art equals wellness. Heart happy hour. Precious mother love. Season 5. 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. Soulful Sunday.
All right, all right.
Master Chef.
Good, good.
As you pack up.
Right on.